Welcome back to Unqualified Critics. The Midway Legacy Edition cabinet, well, it came and it went. And I'm old enough to remember when it looked like this, which you see on this screen at a website called mortalkombat.org, which reposted my video. So shout out to them. Really cool that they reposted the video. But this was actually the best image I could find on the internet, and it's my stupid thumbnail. And I made this thumbnail not expecting it to be blown up as large as this. You can see these little white bits. Yeah, that means I didn't do a super careful job when I photoshopped this off its background. Looked good enough in the YouTube thumbnail, but not so good when it's blown up on a web page. But whatever, it looked like this, but now it looks like this. They've redesigned it, apparently. Unless this is just like a wrong image. But this is the latest place this has popped up. And it's Wayfair.ca, so the Canadian version of Wayfair. Man, I didn't think Wayfair could be worse of a ripoff, but I was wrong. Just when I thought it couldn't get worse, Canadian Wayfair bust down the wall like Kool-Aid Man, because this $639 US is the equivalent of $639 Canadian, equivalent of 502 US dollars. This is a product that's supposed to be 399 and it's 501. But I would still caution you not to panic about that price. I doubt it's representative. Wayfair is known for ripping people off. It's kind of their thing. So I don't think this is going to be the pricing that we get elsewhere. Anyway, the real key I want to talk about is actually the artwork. What do you guys think about it? So again, sorry to reuse my own thumbnail, but this is what the original leak looked like. And, you know, it very much wasn't necessarily final. And then we have this. So what's changed? Well, we've got this little notch here by the control panel, which I actually think kind of looks cool. But I did see some comments on Reddit. People were concerned about it because what if you need a little extra room for your hands, or your hands are kind of locked in? I don't really know if that's going to be a problem. I don't think, like, when I played my Marvel Superheroes cab, I've ever felt like I needed spillover. But, you know, it's a valid complaint. Maybe you got those big old sausage fingers, you need some extra room. The main criticism really was around the riser. For my part, you guys know what it is. I like the risers to blend with the cabinet, and it doesn't here. But I do like that Shadow Mortal Kombat logo. I do like that deep crimson red. The Choose Your Fighter on the front is a little weird. And as a commenter pointed out, that's Choose Your Fighter for Mortal Kombat 1. But it's a Mortal Kombat 2 skin, so that right there is a little bit goofy. I do think I like the original riser more. It just kept it a little more authentic. I can't tell if they've changed the marquee position. It's still pushed back pretty far. I know a lot of people have complained about that. I don't think that's going to change too much. I think that's a function of needing the marquee out of the way. So if you're standing, your head's up here, you've got a direct line of sight to the monitor. And that's the thing. They push the monitor back with these cabinets and all their newer cabinets. So I think they're saying, hey, we got to push the marquee back too. Now, I've got that Marvel cabinet I mentioned earlier, the old school Marvel cabinet, not the Marvel vs. Capcom or any of that. This was like the original Wave 3 cabinet. It does not have a pushback, well, it does have a pushback monitor. It does not have a pushback marquee, if that makes sense. And it's fine. Like the marquee might block a little bit of, it blocks the Arcade 1-Up logo, might block the very top of this unless you really step back of the screen. But I've never really thought of it as a big deal. Now also, you know, I'm not 6'5" or something, so maybe then it'd be a problem. But I really don't think so. I've had friends play it. I've never had anybody ever complain, and people of all different heights have played it. So I don't really get why suddenly this is a priority, but it wasn't before. But for whatever reason, this is a priority now. You see them recess those monitors a lot when they push that screen back. So I think that's here to stay. I don't really mind it. I think it's all right. Yeah, I think to me, I don't really mind these wings unless that does end up being an issue. I think the Choose Your Fighter is probably my biggest problem. I'd rather maybe seen the dragon logo on the front, maybe the sides were blank, or just stick with that original logo. That original logo was all right. You know, this one wasn't bad. Or make it an extension of Raiden so you can finally see that lower part of the apron. Do you guys remember the Supreme cabinet with the huge lettering? I looked at that, and the way the lettering went, it would have had to continue like down here onto the floor to make sense. So they got away with the fact that you just see a little bit of his apron, but in reality it ends like right here. But they made it look like it kept going. If you get that Supreme logo, that's a really, really small thing to notice, but I always thought that was dumb. And I am seeing a lot of complaints online for this coin door, which I'm a little surprised by. Yeah, I get it. It's just a decal. Decal is a little bit lame. They're doing the molded plastic on some of the others, but I've seen polls out there where people are saying, you know what, bring back the logos on the front. I'm just bringing that up because I was really surprised by it. I'm surprised anybody would want the logos. I suspect those logos are kind of an accident of history. I think Arcade One Up was the first company to do it, at least the first I ever saw. And I always assumed it was a licensing thing. Like they wanted every logo from every game included on that front. Now they departed from that for the first time with the Black Series cocktail cabinets, and I thought this looked great. There's no reason to put 12 logos on it. You'll remember which games you have on your own cabinets, I assume. Maybe not if you have a whole bunch of them, but I have a bunch of them, and I don't have a problem remembering which games are which. So I never really liked the logos on the front, but apparently some of you do. So some have suggested, and I think this is a good suggestion, have that kick plate swappable or reversible is a better word for it. Put the logos on one and the coin door on the others. I think that's probably a good idea. I think the real answer is to get molded coin doors on here. But this is a good, I think, value cabinet. I think all these legacies are good value at $400, not at 502 US or 640 Canadian. That's not a good value, but at 400, I think it is. And I could get why they would stick with just the decal. So I personally think it's fine. I think it'd be a good idea if they gave us the ability to upgrade to that molded coin door. I don't know if they just stick on there with adhesive or if there's any kind of cutout or whatever. But I would probably want that so eventually all the cabinets match with the coin door. That would be pretty clutch. And I'm not really expecting them to do that, by the way. They've not been great about selling us ad hoc or individual accessories that we can pick and choose for ourselves. Pretty much usually have to go third party for that, unfortunately. Anyway, guys, I wanted to get this out to you real quick on the Saturday morning. New Mortal Kombat 2 skin. This is the latest we've seen. It's not come down yet, so it's making me think this is the final design. But I want to know, do you like that design more or the original design? Let me know, guys, and I will talk to you soon.